Bay, I'm David, and I'm in my office here with two crazy cats. Nico, who's now looking down the hallway, has been playing with two peacock feathers, running around on packing paper, being just a maniac. And then I also have next to me the house cheetah, who's looking down where Nico is playing. Cats. They're actually kind of fun. I'm a dog guy myself. I know that a lot of my viewers are cat people. I'm much more of a dog guy. Love my puppies. Don't currently have a puppy. And now I've lost my two cats as they go skulking out of the room, offended that I said I'm a dog person. But these two have personality and they're fun. Okay. That's not the purpose of this reading. I did a bunch of readings last night. It was nice to have the energy flowing and wanting to do more than like one reading a night. So that was good. I don't know if I'll have more than one reading today because although there's news going on, it's stuff I've already covered. Judge Merchan sentenced Donald Trump to diddly squat. Other than it locks him in as a felon on his criminal record and maybe prevents Trump from owning a gun. But, you know, I'm sure the first thing Donald Trump's going to do is go out and purchase a gold-plated Trump 45 or something like that some fan has made for him. And then go travel to a country that doesn't allow felons in so that they'll let him in because, you know, he's going to be the president or future president of the United States. You know, just kind of the, you know, oh, you say I can't do something, watch me just go do it anyways. That's kind of just his jam. He does what he wants and don't let the rules get in the way of that. Again, it exposes the double standards that are in society. The laws for everyone else and the laws for wealthy, connected, powerful people. See Jeffrey Epstein for more on that. One of the things I wanted to look at is so we have Trump getting the non-sentence put in place, and the wildfires are still going down in Los Angeles. There have been arsonists that have taken advantage of the media coverage and the deployment of a bunch of firemen to go try and set some more fires, plus the conditions. You know, just these people are sick. And there's a TikTok of one guy getting caught doing it and the police coming to arrest him. It's just... The tragedies often bring out the best in people, but also brings out the weirdos and the crazies too. So I don't really want to read on the wildfires or the inane ramblings of Trump or his supporters about raking forests and doing BS like that. His sentence is done, so I don't really want to read on that. Now we're just waiting for the other shoe to drop. Yeah, President Carter's been buried. Oh, I was trying to find a clip, and I couldn't find the clip that I had originally seen. There is a part where you see Barack Obama sitting next to Donald Trump at the funeral, and you see Obama go. He he leans over, says something to Donald, and Donald says what, and Obama says something to him. Trump says what, and then there's a pause, and Obama says something, and they go about their way, and. In my twisted mind, I added a conversation to it. And I wanted to find the clip so I could potentially edit it and add the conversation to it. This would tax my video editing skills, but it would be like, "Hey, Donald." And Donald Trump looks over. "Pull my finger." "What?" "Pull my finger." They're going to blame you for that one, Mr. Incontinence. Sorry. Adolescent boy humor. Also dad humor, too. But it would be hilarious, because I bet you could get Donald Trump to, "Hey, Dom, what? Pull my finger." "What? Pull my finger." My wife loves me. Sure, sense of humor is as childish as mine. Okay, not going to read on that. Melania was looking disheveled, and Justin Trudeau was at the funeral. Yeah, funny how she shows up when Justin Trudeau's around. Just saying. Girl. And, for all the Melania hate that my audience will throw out there, they would probably say, yeah, if I was Melania, I think I'd want to be at that funeral too if Justin Trudeau was 2 rows behind me. Oh, I'll have to do another gossip channel for that one. No, okay, so I did a reading on the upcoming Trump January 19th, 2025 rally, not July 19th. They both begin a J. No, January. That's what I was trying to say on that one. And one thing I didn't read on was, will it have the same vibe as the January 6th rally from 2021? In other words, will Trump be successful in riling these poor suckers up, and will they be stupid enough to do it again? Again, I record this on the morning of January 10th. It's 10:30 in the morning Pacific time. I have a vacation day from work. I got to sleep in a little bit. I got me a coffee. This is a pizza coconut black tie. It's an iced coffee with some condensed milk on the bottom and some coconut syrup, and it's magnificent. Sadly, Pete's gingerbread, iced gingerbread, is now out of season. Fortunately, I got one for Michelle a couple of days ago on the last day that they had them, not knowing it was the last day they had them. Michelle loves gingerbread almost as much as I do, and I love gingerbread almost as much as my dog Cody from back in the day. Oh, is he a gingerbread hound? We were given a gingerbread kit once, and he was all over it, sniffing it, raking the packaging with his big old paws because he wanted in. And when the kids decorated gingerbread houses around Christmas time, he would guard them. He'd stand in the kitchen just like waiting for one to fall off the top. We had to put him on top of the refrigerator because he was a thief. He'd pull them right off the kitchen table. Well, one time, one got left on the kitchen table, and we were out of the house for hours. We came back, the container's on the floor, there's crumbs everywhere. You have one big happy dog. That gingerbread house was now perfectly guarded in his belly. They're stale and nasty, but hey, dogs, they're like walking garbage cans. Okay, so will Trump be successful? Sorry, I'm sharing all the anecdotes here. Will Trump be successful in riling up his base in January 19th, 2025, as he was in January 6th, 2021? Okay, come on down. How successful will Trump be with this? Let's look at the energy of that. This will be for entertainment purposes only. It's not going to be as successful. There will be discontent. There will be turbulence. But the energy level is down. The outrage isn't there. It literally is, it's like Trump can't keep up all the balls in the air like he used to be able to do. And there's just less people. And you can imagine there would be all sorts of reasons for that. Crossed by the 9 of... Because even though the inauguration's the next day, people are tired. They know what happened the last time. They're still battered. Many are still battered from that. From being hiding from the FBI, losing their social media, maybe suffering consequences from that. Socially from it, they're not ready to go to war for this guy again. They're a much more kind of wait and see type attitude. And you think of the image that comes out of here for me is soldiers wanting to storm Valley Forge. When you look at like pictures of kind of the demoralized Revolutionary Army, and Washington convinces them to cross the Delaware in a snowstorm to take over Valley Forge, and so they have a place to barracks up for the winter. and you see like the injured revolutionary soldiers and such, and they're just they're weary, and that's kind of the vibe I get. And Trump's not. He's motivational, but he's not a leader. Would he be the type that would want to rile up a crowd and march him to the Capitol? Yes, especially if by marching you mean he could ride in a golf cart while everybody else walks. That sort of thing. He comes up with the ideas and the motivation, but he doesn't actually want to do the work. He wants to stand there with his gold shovel for the groundbreaking thing, but after that, there's nothing there. So the energy's diminished. Folks are tired. They're weary. They've been beaten up before. And, there's this underlying thing. It's like, oh my God, is it worth it? Do I really want to sacrifice my job, my career, my freedoms, whether it's incarceration or fines, get put on no-fly lists, all the consequences of doing this. He's not going to be able to gin up the support like he did before. They're outraged. They're always outraged, but not to the point of violence like they were back in the day. Now, I will read if they will act. But remember also, this time Biden is the president of the United States. There's not going to be a delay in the National Guard being called. There's not going to be no planning to increase police presence, put barricades up, and have National Guards on the city outskirts. If these idiots want to let's say something happens where Trump is not allowed to take possession of the White House. If these idiots riot, there's going to be a much different response this time, because the person who's in charge of the White House and in charge of security aren't going to let that happen again. If Trump were in charge of the White House, yeah, it could easily happen again, but not with Biden. Okay, so that's not going to repeat itself, nor are they going to have the numbers nor the passion to do it. Maybe if Trump doesn't get in, it's going to anger him, but when they outnumbered and had the quote-unquote element of surprise and a bunch of people blocking it, they made some progress. They won't even get close this time. In the past, you got the Page of Swords. Don't think for a second that the intelligence agencies aren't monitoring the living bejesus out of this and have moles in place to better monitor what's going on. This also could be the idiot, immature rioting that happened the last time and the consequences for that. Current situation is double. That doesn't mean Trump's not going to try. Trump is Trump. It worked kind of sort of once. Why wouldn't he do it again? One of his superpowers is getting people clutching pearls and getting them all riled up. It's why he's such a good marketer and such, is that he can play to people's passions. It's one of the gifts that he was given when he came down to this planet. And he tries to work on their passions again. The lesson to be learned, though, is the Queen of Pentacles. Now, I was watching, after doing my readings last night, I finally got to listen to some of Libby's. And she had a great meaning for this card. Homeland Security. And that is so awesome because, it's, again, you got a mother, grandmother with like a baby on the lap, taking care of that. Homeland Security is a fantastic meaning for this card. So thank you, Libby. Love you. Mwah. Check her out at Meister Tarot. MAIGSTIR Tarot. So the lesson to be learned, Homeland Security is ready this time. They are not going to be caught flat-footed like they were the last time. The outcome is the Hanged Man. Trump's going to ask them to throw themselves against it. He's going to try again. But I think this card also means big delays. So it could be, when by the time the 19th has come around, there could be delays, and it could already be announced that there's delays in Trump getting into the White House type thing, if that's going to happen. He could ask them to storm it, or they're just going to take a wait-and-see attitude. I mean, and that wait and see attitude could just be nothing happens. Biden doesn't announce anything. There's no drama, anything along those lines. And then, this whole rating goes for naught. But again, that's a free will choice. I will hammer that. I'm starting to hammer that message. So when you say, "Oh, you're wrong, you're an idiot," nothing happened. Yeah, nothing happened. And it sounds like a cop-out. And it is, kind of. But at the same time, if there was evidence for it, it still comes down to a free will choice on Biden. Nobody else, Biden's call. If Biden had stepped down and put Kamala Harris in there, you would have a free will choice by Kamala Harris. And believe me, and with what I understand of her personality, she would be much more direct. Biden likes to work in the shadows. She's a lot more direct on that one. Love her for that. Okay, so is he going to try and gin him up? Oh, yeah. Are they going to be ginned up? Not nearly as much as they were before, because it's not worth it. And between that Nine of Wands, crap, that didn't work out so good the last time. Looking at the Seven of Coins underneath, is this really worth it? And then the Hangman coming out, it's like, yeah, we're going to wait and see. You're not throwing us under the bus for this one. There's going to be a lot more restraint, is the word I'm looking for. People may be protesting outside the Capitol, but they're not going to go in the building this time. They at least know where the boundary is. If there's police gates there and people are shaking it, they may shake the police gates, but if it goes down, I think a lot of people aren't going to cross that line. It's going to be like, oh crap. It's kind of like the dog that's really fierce behind the fence, and then the gates open, and then you walk through the gate, and they're like, oh crap, go run and hide in a bush. All fierce and everything when they know nothing can happen, but the minute, push comes to shove, they're out of here. Okay, so will the attendees of his January 19th, 2025 rally become rioting seditionists or insurrectionists on January 20th if for some reason Donald Trump is not allowed into the White House, or the inauguration is paused or something like that? I may have Nico jumping up here in a moment. Here he is. Hello. Oh. Hello. What do you need? Why don't you come up on the chair? Oh. There you go. Take a load off your feet. Give you your black cat fix. Okay, will they do it? Ten of Swords. That's not a strong yes card. That's like no. That's a no card. There's that defeat. Almost like if January 20th was canceled, type of thing. It's almost like they don't get a chance to do it. Crossed by the Ace of Wands. They're going to be egged on. There's a strong motivation for something, a new plan. Grab up your clubs and let's go. But it's like the answer is no. They want to, but no. Something's revealed. Something is revealed that puts an end to it, but it gives them, maybe it gives them more pearls to clutch going forward. Page of Swords, same card, same position. They remembered what happened the last time. There's informants now with inside their groups. The cat's losing his mind, and they remember what happened the last time. It didn't end well. Current situation. They want to. This is supposed to be the peaceful transfer of power. It's supposed to be peaceful. And, I think in one way, it's one way when Donald Trump was being taken out and you thought it was stolen, but he's supposed to be going in. I think that's another thing that plays in here, is that Trump's going in, not being taken out. Now, if he's being delayed, I'm not sure how this all is going to work, but it just seems like even if he's being delayed, the inauguration's delayed, and then the opportunity's not there. They're still going to be all up in their feelings about it, but they're much more restrained. They're restrained and contained. Again, I think when you have a much bigger military presence, you can be like the dog behind the fence and be all aggro, But, you know, if that fence goes down, they don't want any of that. Outcome is the Seven of Cups. Are they going to? Not really. Some might. There's going to be some people rabble rousing and do it. They'll be more like it'll be more like acts of vandalism. If anything happens, it'll be more acts of vandalism than it is storming the Capitol type of thing. So are they going to riot? I don't think so. I really don't think so. I think we can read on it again as we get closer. Certainly I want to read on it again if anything drops. You know, again, this is January 10th as I record this. The inauguration is in 10 days. Oh, we have a cat in the box. Let me turn up the brightness here. Whoop. There's Nico. Where is Elle? Oh, she's hidden by the microphone. He's batting at her right now. She's in the box. Bat. You wonder how maybe I should move my microphone here. There you go. Now you can see the two of them being cats. Okay. All right. Back to non-cat videos here. Put down this. All right. Is Trump going to gin him up? Yeah. Are they going to try and riot? It doesn't look like they're going to get the opportunity to. Where else do I want to go with this? Pause for a second. All right. I just, I've had that Page of Swords come up twice. I think what I want to ask is, are there contingencies in place this time for security? In other words, paying attention to intelligence and communications, proper plans for security around the area, or they really are wrestling. He's attacking her. You probably hear the paper rattling in the background. Or more to the point, if MAGA were to try and storm the Capitol, would they be beaten down quickly, much like we've got a cat beat down going on over here? What? I'm talking about you two. You two clowns. Yeah. Two of Wands. There's planning. There's prep's already going on for it. They know that it's happened before with Trump, and they're ready for Trump this time. This time, it's going to be a lot different. You want to take arms up against us? Good luck. We're prepared. We're better. We're going to win. Even if we're outnumbered, we're going to win. Yeah, things are going to be a lot calmer this time. Steps will be taken to detoxify the situation, to dissuade the fighting. Even though Trump's going to try and gin up, it's going to be a lot calmer. Steps will be taken that are going to calm things down. We are not going to have another insurrection. That's, at least that's the energy right now. Okay, there's one more thing I do want to read on. I don't normally read on weather, but I want to just find out, will the weather be miserable on January 20th? Now, I've had people message me anything from where it's going to be in the upper 30s or low 40s to it's going to be they went storming out of the room chasing me down the stairs to, it's going to be in the 20s and it's going to be windy and there's going to be like freezing rain coming down, which sounds absolutely miserable. Just a little forecaster. Will the weather make a difference? Is Spirit going to help us out by having a miserable weather day to help dampen the fires that burn so brightly in the pearl-clutching members of MAGA? Eight of Swords. Restriction. There's going to be rain. I think it's going to rain. I'm looking at the water on here. It's just... Yeah, it's like this is movements restricted. There's a lot of restriction going on. It might not just only be weather, but there's a bunch of restriction going on with it. You can't always predict the weather. But I think people are going to be, the folks from Florida coming up there aren't going to be real happy with the weather. You know what I mean? Ten of Wands, it's a real burden. It's not going to be pleasant. It's going to be miserable out there. And again, it's the Seven of Coins. Is this worth it? Reaping what you sow. It's not the springtime that we're looking at. They're lucky we don't have spring-like weather. If there was spring-like weather, we might have something different here. Two of Wands. Yeah, it's part of this. I'm looking at weather. I think the weather will play a part in it. It's another component in this that plays into this. But more to the point, MAGA's. It's almost like saying the weather doesn't matter. MAGA's restricted. Their movements are restricted. And part of it is a self-restriction, because this card is about being held hostage, but it's a self-hostage. You can set yourself free from this. The reason why they're hostage is they know what happened the last time, and they don't want to reap what they sow this time. This is a really difficult thing. They don't want to do it. And there's a lot more planning going on. And they're also looking at the future like, oh my God, if I do that, what's the consequences? Good heavens. It's almost like they're starting to understand the find out part after the F rounds. It's just going to calm things down. The weather will contribute, but I think it's more the security that gets them. The security is more important than the weather. And it just could be that if there's no ceremony, then there's no reason to riot. Somebody else threw out something, is that there might be a ceremony. I guess the inauguration is ceremonial, but that doesn't mean that he gets to go in. It's just a ceremony. And that could happen too, and that would explain why nothing happens, because maybe he gets to have his parade and rile people up, but he's still not allowed in the White House. And there's a whole lot of military, National Guard, police, ready to go or already deployed. That's going to make sure that nothing untoward happens. I'm not too worried about January 20th as far as rioting against the police and our government goes. All right, I'll leave it here. Thank you very much for watching this video and supporting my channel. I appreciate it. Thank you for putting up with the long intro and the cat interludes. This reading is for entertainment purposes only, but I hope you do find it insightful, and I'm just realizing that the cats fighting is kind of a metaphor for what we're doing in our society these days. Can't we all just get along? Anyways, I'll catch you on the next video. Take care.